Hey guys, so I said I was done with the fetching from APIs and displaying in bricks, but I had quite a few requests asking about how do I do this with a Google Sheet, particularly the not public, so the private sheets, which makes it a little bit of a challenge. Now, all the information that I found online for connecting to private Google Sheets all point to using the official Google PHP library, which you install with Composer. So you can stick that in your child theme or a custom plugin, whatever you like. But in doing that, you can't use it in a code snippet in, say, for example, WP Codebox. So it took me a little bit to work out how I could do this using WP Remote Get and Remote Post. But I did work it out, and I've updated the gist to add that in there. So I'll quickly demonstrate how this actually works. So I have a simple sheet. I've given it 4 people on here, and I'm going to change this first one to Mary. I'll change that to Mary. Change her phone number to whatever. And let's say we change the next one to David. Make him David. And give him a different phone number as well. Okay, now if we have a look at all I've done is updated this Google Sheet, and it's a private sheet. So if we have a look at the front end of Bricks, it's still got the old stuff in there. If I refresh that page, I've got all the updated details from that Google Sheet. So that proves it is doable, where we can go directly from the Google Sheet straight into Bricks using the same methodology that I demonstrated with the previous videos. The only complexity is here is how we get that information from the Google Sheet, because it requires us to set up API keys. It requires us to set up authentication. So I'm going to quickly run through that. So you need to create a Google Cloud Console account if you haven't already. So that's a free account. And when you log into there, we're going to go to APIs and Services, and we want to click on the button up the top here. This is Enable APIs and Services, and search for Sheets. Okay, in those sheets, when we search for Sheets, there's one API. Click on that. I've already enabled it. If you haven't enabled it, you'll get a button up here to enable it. This is already enabled, so I don't need to worry about that. You can hit Manage on there if you want to. We're just going to go back to, as if you've already got this enabled, we're going to go back to our APIs. Back. And in our APIs and services, we need to create some credentials. So click on Credentials. And we're going to use what Google call a service account for this. If we use OAuth 2, the client has to authenticate to Google, get a token, and then put that into your application, which requires interaction, which we don't want. We want to go basically server to server. So we need to create a service account for that. So we're going to create credentials, and we're going to create a service account. Let Google do its thing. We're going to give this a name. Let's call this Demo Bricks. Okay, so the service account ID is Demo Bricks. This is for account. And I'm going to delete this when I'm done, so it doesn't matter whether you see my API key. So hit the create and continue. And then we need to select a role for this. Now, I am just going to say this is just a viewer. It reduces our security concerns because all we're going to do is read from it. This API service account cannot do anything else apart from read. Okay, so hit the viewer, and then we're going to hit done. Okay, so that's created our service account. Now we need to go into our service account. And what we need to do is go to our Keys tab, and it gives you a warning here that it's a security risk if it's compromised, blah, blah, blah. Again, we're using this for read only to display stuff on a website. They're going to have to get into your back end to get the key, and all I can do is read anyway, so I'm not concerned about that. So we're going to hit the add key. I'm going to create a new key, And we're going to use the JSON for the key type. Hit create. There it is there. And it will download that JSON file. So that's the, just so I don't get lost, it's the one ending in E9 because I've done this previously. Okay, and there it is there. Now, if we have a look at that key that I just created in our downloads, there it is there. So I'm going to open that with Notepad. And that's the JSON key that it's created, which is something that we need for our API to work. So I'm going to show you where to put that. Okay, now that's it. We've created the key. Now all we have to do to make this sheet available to that service account is we get the service name. In this case, that is the email for that service account. We copy that. We go to our sheet. We say share. We share it with that service account as a viewer. That's all they can do anyway. We don't want to notify, and hit share. Now that service account has access to that sheet. All right. So that's it, all we need to do to set up the Google side for this. Now let's have a look in the builder here. What we've got is and I'll go through the WP code box thing here. When we select our Google Sheet as our query type here, we get a sheet ID. Now the sheet ID is, if you look at the sheet, it's this part of the sheet without the slash. So just grab those. So that's the ID of your sheet. Okay, so that's all you need from there. Then what we need is what range do we want on the sheet? Now I just said sheet one. Sheet one will get all the rows that are set on that sheet. You can actually have blocks of things on here, and you can say from A1 through to C5 if you want to. So you can select a block just by selecting the range. Do a Google search for that, but I'm not going to go into that. I'm just going to select the entire sheet. So whatever we add, all those rows are going to come through as each row being an array. Okay. So you set your range, and then you paste in here that JSON key that we just downloaded here when we created our service account key. And that's what you paste in there, and that's all we do to get the API side of it working, right? Then with the dynamic data, we're using exactly the same deep array from loop that we used in our previous there, but we set our key path, and we're going to have to use single quotes here because some of these headings might have multiple words. So this, for example, might be, let's change this now. Let's change that to first name. Change that to first name, save that. Actually, we don't need to save it, automatically does it. Go to the front end, and we're going to get, that's not found. We can't find first name, right? So we're going to change in our keys here, we're going to change that on the heading. We're going to change that to first. I think capitalization actually affects this as well. So we change that to first name. So this is basically our heading. What is the column heading? And then that's updated, and that's working with our first name now. Let's add a last name. So I'm going to add a column. And one column on the right. No, don't want to do that. Insert one column to the left. We'll call this last name. And Mary, Joe, David, blog, John, Pan, Robert, I don't know, Bruce. Okay, now we've just updated our sheet. Now, how do we get this one? We go back to our builder. Where our David is here, we're going to, whoops, clicked on the wrong thing on the heading. I'm going to go first name, copy that. And I'm going to do last name. Last name. Save. Now we've got Mary Jo, David Blog, John Pan, Robert Bruce. How simple is that, right? So that is the concept. That is how simple it is to do once it's set up. So the query is easy to set up. The Google authentication is easy to set up, sheet ID, the range we want, the JSON key we generated, and away we go with doing what we did exactly with the previous videos with any other data we got from any other array. Okay, so that's that. Now let's have a look at the WP Code Box. I'm going to roughly go through this because we've been through this many, many times. So Google Sheets, in this case, we want two different transients because this involves authentication as well as fetching from the actual sheet. So we're going to set for our authentication, we're going to set a transient time, a transient name, and we're going to set this to be 1 hour. So it's only going to send the authentication once every hour. It's going to save that as a transient, and then it's going to use that to fetch the sheet data each time until it expires, because we don't need to authenticate every time we fetch from the sheet. I'm not sure what the longest you can have that authentication is with Google. I haven't looked at that. You might be able to have this as 12 hours or 2 days, or I don't know, but just set it to the maximum that you think you need to have to keep re-authenticating before you use it. So then we have a transient for our actual sheet. I've just got that set to 15 seconds. So this is for testing. If you have a sheet that doesn't change that often, if it changes every 10 minutes, you might set that to 5 minutes, so that at least every 5 minutes it's going to check to see whether there's an update to that sheet. If it changes every 12 hours, you might set that to 5 hours. It's going to check every 5 hours. It's up to you. So the least calls you have to do the API, the better, and you can control that with these two values and the transients here. All of this here is exactly the same. I'm not sure why WP Code Box is showing this wrong. That's weird. As I scroll, it's messing up my PHP highlighting, but that's okay. That's just a fault here in Code Box. I think it's actually to do, let's go to 0. It is not. Okay, I thought it might be to do with the zoom. Okay, so all of this remains the same as the previous videos, except for we got controls of our sheet ID, we've got control of our sheet range, and then we've got our JSON key, which I've told to be a text area. Okay, that's all that's changed there. And obviously the IDs here have to match to what we set up in the control here for our Google Sheets as our selector. And then that adds our settings. Go through the previous videos if you're not sure what I mean there. All this remains the same, except for down here, generic get from Google Sheets. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our service account. Sorry, I'm getting confused between naming here. So we're going to get our JSON key that we put into the editor here. So the JSON key that we put in there, and we're going to, in fact, we've done that the wrong way around. This probably should have come first. Do we need that service account there? We do, because we need to check the auth. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get our auth key from transient. Now this creates what they call a JWT with a authentication for Google. JWT is a JSON web token, and it's an encrypted token that you get back from Google authentication. So we're going to get that from the transient, which we've set to 1 hour expiry. If it doesn't exist or it's expired, so in other words, we don't have one, we're then going to get one by calling this function here with our service account, which is the decoded JSON key string that we put in. We're going to get an auth key. If it's not an error, we're going to set the transient of our auth transient with the auth key to expire in 1 hour as above there. Now, if that already exists, it's just going to get it from this point. It's going to skip over all of that. So it's only going to happen every hour with the current settings. We're then going to get a transient for the sheet. And this one's currently set to every 15 seconds. So this is getting the sheet itself. All right. If we've already got it before, within that 15 seconds, we're just going to get it from the transient. If there's no result, exactly the same as what we're doing with our previous API calls, then we're going to yeah, if there's no result, then we're going to say, yeah, we're just going to say we got it from the transient. Otherwise, we're going to return the result. If the result exists in the transient, we're just going to return it. Otherwise, we're going to call another function to get our Google Sheet from the API with our auth key, sheet ID, and sheet range. If it's an error, if it's not an error, I should say, set the transient so that we're saving that transient for the next 15 seconds in this case. And log that we just got this from the API. And if we want to see what their result is, we can comment that if we want to. We can log that as well when we get it from the API. Okay, so now going down here, we're going to go with our authentication. Yeah, probably bad naming here. Get Google Access Token. This is our authentication. So this is going to create a encoded or base64 encoded string from this this here. It's going to set our time to now. It's going to set our claims, which is base64 encoded. This is all in the Google documentation. We're going to create what they call a JWT, which is a Java Web Token, a JavaScript Web Token, using OpenSSL to sign it, and that's going to create the string that we send off to Google. And then we're going to do a remote post to Google. And if it's all successful, it's going to, if it is an error, it's going to return the error. If it's successful, it's going to decode the body and it's going to return the access token. Okay, so all we need from this whole authentication process is an access token to call when we get the sheet. When we call the sheet, we just send our access token that we got from our authentication. What's the sheet ID? What's the range? That's going to call the Google endpoint and get our data from there. So again, a very rough, quick go through. I don't want to go through in too much detail here. This took a little bit of time to work out because all the information I found on this preferred that you used a Google PHP library, which you install with Composer. This took a bit of thinking on how to get this to work with the WordPress function so we could chuck it into a custom code box here. But you can see it works. I can go in here and change any of those or change that to 2222222. Save that, go back to our builder, have a look at the front end. And we've just changed the email address there in Bricks. So there we go. It is working. I've updated the gist or relinked to the gist to include the Google Sheet for this. And if you're not sure how this works, go back to my original videos on how this works. I did lie. I did say that was the last one, my last one, but I just couldn't help doing this because so many people were asking for it. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at this. If you like this sort of thing, hit the subscribe and hit the like. Thanks, guys.